फिल्म है द कश्मीर फाइल्स, इसने एक वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाया है पहली बार विश्व के इतिहास में।
मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि मैं किसी चीज में वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड तोड़ूंगी, लेकिन मैंने तोड़ दिया है।
वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनते देखना अपने आंखों के सामने बड़ी बात है, वो भी जलेबी का वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड।
मेरी कंपनी कैलबे वाटर एंड सोडा ने इंटरनेशनल बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड में अपना नाम दर्ज कर लिया है।
वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड की हैट्रिक बना के अपना नाम इंटरनेशनल बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स दर्ज करवा जा रही है।
Good afternoon. I'm just outside Green Park Station here in the West End. On the 15th of November 2023, my brand new book, Music to My Ears, was published for the first time after 3 years of me working on it. Somewhere here on Piccadilly Road is an imaginary cafe which opens the very first chapter of that book and is the start of a 62,000 word journey to it becoming the longest in the world written by a child. Today I'm telling you all about it. So Mayfair's not the place that I usually hang out in, but it's here in this very affluent neighbourhood of London that June Watson, the main character in the book, lives with her father. The entirety of Music to My Ears is set in different locations across the capital. By the way, if you've read the book, which is currently available on Amazon in paperback and ebook, you might have noticed that I've given elaborate and very descriptive scenes in which she rides public transport. Now, because it's 2040, more people are using public transport than using cars, and I've taken that as an advantage to put some little hints that I'm a train enthusiast by making very nice scenes riding trains and riding buses. Not that June is a train enthusiast, she's a talented rising musician whose interests lean more towards nature and, as you'll discover later in the book, the secret society against evil forces. And that's my cue to take you to the next location. But first, I need to set the mood. Welcome to Slough on the Elizabeth line. Somewhere there behind me is where the imaginary Slough Tower would have been, and in the foundations of that imaginary tower is where the SSAF headquarters would have been. Now, spoiler alert, this is where a lot of the story takes place, and you might be thinking, why did I put the SSAF headquarters this far out of London? Well, it's a suburban area which is growing very rapidly, and I'm thinking that by 2040 it will have been the perfect location for this headquarters to be located. And now it's time for me to talk to you a bit about the process of making music to my ears. This was me more than a year ago announcing to Facebook, this was pre-YouTube, that my brand new book, Music to My Ears, was complete. But it soon became clear to me that it was not ready, and it had not been many times throughout the making of this book. When I look back at the first manuscripts that I wrote back in 2020, you can see that the plot, my style of writing, and the quality of writing has completely changed. It's like comparing Frankenstein to the star outside my window. And in total, I edited the book about 6 times. I do not regret whatsoever all those hours spent on editing, which really amounted up into full months, because it has shaped this story into what it is today. The story built up more and more over time and developed massively, and you can sort of see its evolution over time as my quality of writing improved. I'm currently working on the second book in the series of On the Edge of Destruction, but from my experience, I know that it's going to be a long time before you get to see it. It was at some point last year that I realised that my book had broken the world record for the longest in the world written by a child, which had previously been set by a 10-year-old boy from Satara with 57,000 words. But then I realised that I had to reach out to Guinness World Records to have the record officially confirmed, and I contacted them to apply for it, except they didn't have a category for it. So instead, I reached out to another company called International Book of Records, and eventually, and I was very pleased to hear this, the record was officially confirmed on the 5th of January this year. Now, you've actually caught me just looking through this archive box, which I found recently in my drawers, and it's got lots of like drawings and plans and printed out pieces, sections of the book from back when I was writing one of the first drafts of Music to My Ears. I'm very excited about this. I'm just unboxing 20 copies of Music to My Ears, and it's at this moment that I would like to thank International Book of Records for confirming this record. It's something that I've been dreaming of for a long time, and I'm about to turn 13, so I managed to submit the record just in time when the book was published. If I had done that any later, the chance would be long gone behind me. And that's the story of how I wrote the longest book in the world written by a child. Thank you for listening.